Okay, so I'm gonna make a video about the Snowrunner. I decided I was gonna put a piston in it because it wasn't running good, and in the course of fixing and taking apart, I think I found the problem. Now, see this wire? When I pulled on it, it pulled out of the blue coil. And what I had to do is, there's a little spike in there, and I pushed on this lead and spun it like 2 turns, and there's like I said, a spike, and now the wire's tight. But when I first took it apart, I just wiggled this wire and it pulled right out. So it must have loosened up over time. And so I screwed this back in, and I imagine it's going to run good now, because it would just cut out for no reason. So I guess it was losing spark. So I think that was the problem. But it seemed also, when it warmed up, it lost a little power. So I said, no, maybe the rings are worn, and I'll put a piston in it. So I ordered a piston. It came in these bags, and the rings were like, I don't know, $15 each ring, and the piston I think was $70, which probably didn't need, but I bought it. When I first took it apart, it didn't look so good. Now that it's apart, it doesn't seem that bad. But yeah, it's apart. We're putting it in. Now, the problem you might have here is to take. I took the piston pin clip out right here. You need snap rings. I took it out like that, but then I couldn't get the piston pin out. So it ended up, you have to take the carburetor off, and then you can access the piston rod bolts through there, and then pull the piston out after you take the head out. So I took these off. These are the bolts. The piston will go in like that. The problem is, it's got these needle bearings that fell all over the place. So now I'm using a little white grease, and I'm going to put them in there, and I got to hope I have them all. And if I have them all and they don't fall out, the engine won't blow up when I put it back together. So we'll get it all together and see if it starts, and I have to make sure no pins are missing, and that's how you get the piston out for the rebuild. Now I put one piston ring on the top here, and then it goes in the clip, and then I took the other piston ring and slid it on the bottom this way into the groove, and this into the groove, because if you try to go past the groove, it gets caught in the groove, and then you might break the ring. The rings break pretty easy. So do one from the top, one from the bottom, and hopefully, like I said, I got all these little needle bearings. What a pain in the neck. What a bad idea to do it that way, but that's how they did it. So bye.